The Index Card: Why Personal Finance Doesn't Have to Be Complicated. Written by Helaine Olen and Pollack. Analysed and summarised by The Money Channel. Rule number 1, strive to save 10 to 20% of your income, is a foundational principle of personal finance that is often recommended by financial experts. This rule states that you should aim to save at least 10 to 20% of your income every month in order to build up a strong financial foundation and achieve your long-term financial goals. The Index Card, written by Helaine Olen and Pollack, emphasizes the importance of simple and straightforward financial advice that is accessible to everyone, regardless of their financial literacy. The authors argue that by following a few basic rules, anyone can take control of their finances and achieve financial security. Saving 10 to 20% of your income is a key component of this approach, as it allows you to build up an emergency fund, pay off debt, and invest in your future. By making saving a priority, you can ensure that you have the resources you need to weather any financial storms that come your way, while also building wealth over time. Of course, saving 10 to 20% of your income is easier said than done, especially if you are living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet. However, the authors argue that even small steps towards saving can make a big difference over time. For example, you might start by setting aside just 1% of your income every month and gradually increasing that amount as you are able. Ultimately, the key to successfully saving 10 to 20% of your income is to make it a habit. By automating your savings and treating it as a non-negotiable expense, you can ensure that you are constantly putting money towards your financial goals. With time and dedication, you can build up a strong financial foundation that will provide you with security and peace of mind for years to come. Rule number 2, pay your credit card balance in full every month, and how to deal with other forms of debt, is another important principle of personal finance discussed in the Index Card. The authors emphasize the importance of avoiding high interest debt such as credit card debt, and offer practical advice for managing other types of debt as well. The rule specifically advises individuals to pay off their credit card balances in full every month. This is because credit card debt often carries high interest rates, which can quickly snowball and lead to a cycle of debt that is difficult to escape from. By paying off your balance in full each month, you can avoid paying high interest and prevent yourself from falling further into this trap. However, the authors also recognize that not everyone is able to pay off their credit card balances in full each month. In these cases, they suggest prioritizing paying off high interest debt first and making larger payments whenever possible to reduce the overall interest paid. Additionally, they recommend seeking out lower interest debt consolidation loans or balance transfer credit cards to help manage debt. The authors also offer advice on managing other forms of debt, such as student loans and mortgages. They suggest exploring options for refinancing or consolidating these loans to lower the interest rates and monthly payments. Rule number 3, max out your 401k and other tax-advantaged savings account, is another key personal finance principle discussed in the Index Card. Obviously, the 401k is for the US based. The authors argue that taking advantage of tax-advantaged savings accounts such as 401k can be effective to saving for retirement and reducing your tax bill at the same time. Obviously, you need to find what's best for you in your local region. The rule specifically advises individuals to contribute as much as they can to their 401k accounts up to the maximum allowed by law. This is because contributions to your 401k account are made on a pre-tax basis, which reduces your taxable income and can lower your overall tax bill. Additionally, many employers offer matching contributions to 401k accounts, which can further increase the amount of money saved for retirement. In addition to 401k accounts, the authors recommend exploring other tax-advantaged savings accounts, such as individual retirement accounts or IRAs, and health savings accounts, HSAs. These accounts offer similar tax benefits and can be a valuable tool for building wealth over time. Of course, the authors also acknowledge that not everyone is able to max out their contributions to these accounts. In these cases, they suggest contributing as much as possible and gradually increasing contributions over time as financial circumstances allow. Again, clearly this is US based. I say that as someone who is UK based, but every country has their own steps for this. Some arguably better or worse than others, which is why it's really important to take initiative to see what your best options are. Rule number 4 is never buy or sell individual stocks, an important principle of personal finance discussed in the index card. The authors argue that investing in individual stocks can be risky and complicated, and instead suggest investing in low-cost index funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs. The rule specifically advises individuals to avoid buying or selling individual stocks because it can be difficult to predict which stocks will perform well in the future. Additionally, individual stocks are often subject to greater volatility and risk than diversified investment options like index funds or ETFs. Instead, the authors recommend investing in low-cost index funds or ETFs which provide exposure to a broad range of stocks and can help reduce risk through diversification. They argue that these investment options offer a simple, low-cost way to invest in the stock market and achieve long-term growth. The authors also acknowledge that some individuals may be interested in investing in individual stocks for other reasons, such as personal interest or enjoyment. However, they caution against investing more than a small portion of your portfolio in individual stocks and suggest seeking out professional advice to manage the associated risks. Overall, this chapter emphasizes the importance of investing in diversified low-cost options like ETFs or index funds to reduce risk and achieve long-term growth. By following the rule, individuals can avoid the pitfalls of individual stock investing and build a strong, stable investment portfolio over time. Rule number 5, buy inexpensive, well-diversified index mutual funds and exchange-traded funds is a key principle of personal finance discussed in the index card. The authors argue that investing in low-cost diversified index mutual funds or exchange-traded funds can be an effective way to build a strong investment portfolio over time. The rule specifically advises individuals to seek out funds with low fees and expenses, as high fees can eat into investment returns over time. Additionally, the authors suggest investing in funds that are well diversified across a range of assets, such as stocks and bonds, to help reduce risk. Index mutual funds and ETFs are attractive investment options for several reasons. They offer exposure to a broad range of stocks or bonds, which can help reduce risk through diversification, and they typically have lower fees and expenses than actively managed funds, which can improve investment returns over time. The authors also emphasize the importance of conducting research and due diligence when selecting index funds or ETFs. They suggest reviewing fund prospectuses and performance history, as well as consulting with a financial advisor or investment professional as needed. Rule number 6, make your financial advisor commit to the fiduciary standard. The authors argue that it's essential to work with a financial advisor who is committed to acting in your best interests and following the fiduciary standard. The fiduciary standard requires financial advisors to put their clients' interests first and act in good faith at all times. This means that advisors must disclose any conflicts of interest and provide transparent, unbiased advice to their clients. The authors suggest that individuals seeking financial advice should specifically seek out advisors who are committed to the fiduciary standard. They argue that this can help ensure that your advisor is providing advice that is in your best interests, rather than prioritizing their own financial gain. Additionally, the authors emphasize the importance of understanding how your advisor is compensated. Some advisors are compensated through commissions or fees, which can create conflicts of interest and incentivize them to recommend certain investments or products. Others are compensated through a fee-only model, which can help ensure that their advice is unbiased and free from conflicts of interest. Rule number 7, buy a home when you are financially ready, is an important principle of personal finance discussed in the index card. The authors argue that while owning a home can be a valuable long-term investment, it's essential to make sure that you are financially ready before taking on the responsibility of home ownership. The rule specifically advises individuals to make sure that they have a stable income and a healthy emergency fund before purchasing a home. Additionally, the authors suggest aiming for a down payment of at least 20% of the home's purchase price to avoid private mortgage insurance and reduce overall borrowing costs. The authors also caution against taking on too much mortgage debt, as this can limit your financial flexibility and create unnecessary stress. They suggest aiming for a monthly mortgage payment that is no more than 25% of your gross monthly income. Rule number 8, insurance, make sure you're protected. The authors argue that insurance is a crucial tool for protecting your financial well-being and minimizing risk. The rule specifically advises individuals to review their insurance coverage regularly and to make sure that they are adequately protected against major risks such as accidents, illness, and property damage. This may include purchasing health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, and homeowners or renters insurance, among other types of coverage. The authors also suggest that individuals should aim to balance balance their insurance coverage with their overall financial goals and risk tolerance. For example, purchasing a high level of insurance coverage may provide greater protection against risk, but it also may come with higher premiums and lower investment returns. Additionally, the author suggests shopping around for insurance coverage and comparing policies and premiums from multiple providers. This can help ensure that you are getting the best value for your insurance coverage and can help you avoid overpaying for unnecessary or redundant coverage. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining adequate insurance coverage to protect your financial well-being and minimize your risk by reviewing your coverage regularly, balancing coverage with financial goals and risk tolerance, and shopping for the best value. You can ensure that you are adequately protected against major risks and set yourself for the long-term financial success. Rule number 9, do what you can to support the social safety net. The authors argue that supporting social safety and net programs is not only a moral imperative, but can also help protect individuals and families from financial insecurity. The rule specifically advises individuals to support policies and programs that provide a safety net for those in need, such as unemployment insurance, Social Security, and Medicaid. The author suggests that these programs can help provide a crucial safety net for individuals and families in times of economic uncertainty or hardship. The authors also emphasize the importance of advocating for policies and programs that promote economic opportunity and mobility, such as access to education and training, affordable housing, and a fair minimum wage. By supporting policies that help individuals and families build financial stability and security, we can help strengthen the overall economy and promote greater social well-being. Rule number 10, remember the index card, is the final principle of the personal finance discussed in the index card. This rule emphasizes the importance of keeping personal finance simple and focused on the key principles outlined in the index card. The author suggests that by keeping the principles outlined in the index card in mind, individuals can avoid getting bogged down in complex financial strategies or overwhelmed by the amount of financial advice available. Instead, they can focus on the key principles of saving, investing, managing debt, and protecting their financial well-being. This can help them achieve their financial goals more efficiently and with less stress and uncertainty.